Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where we'll be continuing to build our fresh URL shortener app. Last video, we've set up our DB functions to be able to create, get, and delete shorts. Now we just need to use them. So our current index route is only returning a hello. So let's go ahead and delete everything we have in it. I'll start by importing the handlers and page props from fresh. Next, I'll also import the GitHub icon. This will be used whenever we're gonna create the login button. Next will be the state interface and our new short helper function. I'll create a handler for handling get and post calls. For get, we're just going to pass along the state so we have access to it in the page component. Our post handler will get a form. The form will have a input named original, which represents the original URL that we're trying to short. If the user is not logged in, we won't do anything and we'll just redirect to the home page. Otherwise, we call our new short helper function, which will create the short for us and redirect to the account my shorts page. Next, we'll create our page component that takes in page props. I'll return the GSX element, create a div with some padding and margin, another div setting the max margin for it, and using flex. Inside of that div, we'll have an image. This will show the default fresh logo that comes with the default project, which should be in our public folder. Static folder. Under our image, we'll have a header tag saying welcome to fresh, and followed by a p tag. Next, we'll want to either show a login button or a form. So in the case that the user is logged in, we can check it by using the session ID, which was passed in our get handler. If the session ID has a value, then it means the user is logged in, and we can then display a form of method post with one input of name original. If the user is not logged in, we show a tag that redirects to the sign-in route. We'll use the GitHub icon as well as a text telling the user to sign in with GitHub. We can now hit save and test it out. So if we go to our page, hit refresh, we should now see our form since we're logged in. So if we sign out, we now see a button, sign in with GitHub. So if we click on it, it then refreshes the page, and now we can create a short. So let's try and create a short. I'll paste in a link and hit short meet, and we see page not found because it tried to redirect us to the my shorts page, which we still haven't created. So let's go ahead and create the my shorts page. Inside of our account folder under routes, we'll create a new file called myshorts.tsx. I'll import the handlers and route context. The route context allows us to not need a get handler to pass along the context. If we go back to our index route, we can see that we are using a get handler just to pass along the state, which is available in the context, since we can't really get it here without doing that. So this route context is gonna help us get the state for us. Then I'll import the short interface and the delete shorts and get shorts by user, the new short helper function, as well as the state interface. We can then create our handlers. We'll also have a form to allow us to create shorts on this page. So I'll have a post handler, which does essentially the same thing as the index page. We get our form, we get our input, and then we pass it along to our new short helper function. We also want to be able to delete shorts, so we'll have a delete handler. For this, we'll get a JSON of type short entity, which will convert. And then if the user is the same user that created that short, so if the current user that's logged in is the one that created that short, we'll then call the delete short function. And then we just call the render on our context. That's all for our handlers. Next is the page component. We'll create a async function called shorts page, which will take in the request and the route context. We'll check in the request URL if there's any params for displaying an error. We'll also call the get shorts by users using the user login information from the context. Since our middleware makes sure that it's populated, we shouldn't have any issues here. We then return a JSX element similar to our home component. We'll have some padding and margins and use flex. If there happens to be an error, we'll display a alert style message to the user saying that they failed to create a short. Next, we'll have a div taking the full width and a form allowing us to create a short. This will be essentially the same thing as our form in the home page, method post, and it has a name type original and a button of type submit. We'll then want to display our shorts to the user. So for now, I'll just have an unordered list and map over the shorts that we got by calling shorts by user, and simply display the short URL and the original URL for that short. Now, if we hit save and go to our page, we can now hit refresh, and we should see the original URL, the short that we created, with the ID associated to it. So let's test it again. I'll paste in another URL and hit submit, and we see that it refreshed the page, and now we're seeing the new short that was created for us. Okay, so we're almost done with this app. We're just missing a better display of the shorts, a button to be able to delete them and actually use our delete handler that we created. And we also need a way to redirect the user to the original URL. Currently, we're just displaying the short ID, but there's no way of using it currently. So we'll wrap all that up in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.